In Camas, picking the wrong neighborhood can cost you 6 figures in lost equity over the next few years. And the scary part is most buyers don't realize it until it's too late. And that's exactly what we're diving into today, the areas that look picture perfect, but could potentially hold back your home's value, those safe bets that are quietly losing demand, and what's replacing them. And then we're also going to be going over the pockets where smart buyers are locking in big, long-term upside right now. I'm Hayden Humphrey, your top local real estate agent here in Southwest Washington, and I specialize in helping buyers not only find their dream home, but the best investment deals this market has to offer. I'm going to be hopping on my Mac monitor and going over these neighborhoods. Stay tuned. Okay, so before we dive into each individual neighborhood, here's what you need to know about the layout in the major roads. So I got my little tool here. As you can see, this is all of Clark County, Camas, Washougal, Vancouver. We got Brush Prairie up here. We got the Columbia River right through here. And obviously this is the difference between Washington up north and Oregon. We got the Columbia River that separates it. And so when we are looking at Camas, the biggest highway, the most important highway leading up to Camas is what's known as SR 14. And so going through, we have I-5 right up here that goes north to south. We have 205 that basically starts over in Salmon Creek, gets us down to more of the East Vancouver. And then also between these two, we have SR 14, which goes east to west, west to east, however you want to say that. And that's primarily what you're going to be taking to Camas. Let's say you're commuting down to Portland, you hop onto 14 here. You could go to I-5 over here, or you hit 205, go down to Portland, or go north. So SR 14, it's a main east-west route that's going to connect to Camas, to Vancouver, and to Portland. And I would say between right here, just to get to PDX, which is right here, roughly 20-25 minutes, obviously depending on traffic. All right, the next up that I want to, next road I want to talk about is a little bit closer in here. This is Northwest Lake Road and 192nd. And the reason I want to mention these is because these are key north-south corridors into East Vancouver and then access to shopping. So hypothetically, let's say you do live in Camas, you know, obviously my map can't show, but you're over here in Camas. So we have Lake Road right here, and it's basically going to bring us all the way out to 192nd. And 192nd, you can hop off from SR 14 and make your way up through here. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of these areas. I think it's mostly updated, this photo. Google does a pretty good job, but we do got the Costco right here. You have the Walmart, you have the Home Depot, you got a ton of food options through here. And then hypothetically, if you wanted to make your way even more into Vancouver, you simply take this. It's basically a lake road that turns into Southeast First, and you can make your way over here. On the East Vancouver, and 164th is a huge hub. It's booming. You got a ton of shopping, you got a ton of restaurants, you have some big businesses here. As you can see, it is a main strip. You got a New Seasons, you have a ton of pretty much everything. You got a lot of housing, a lot of cluster developments right through here. All right, we're back at Lacamas Lake here. I wanted to show you another road. One of my favorite drives is taking this. It's known as Ledbetter Road. That's how I pronounce it. It's Ledbetter, Leadbetter, whatever it is. I call it Ledbetter. Basically, it's up here and you're just going through this scenic route north of Lacamas Lake. It's a quick drive, but what it does, as you can see, there's no other roads really through here, and it can get you connected to the north end neighborhoods up through here. So instead of having to drive, you know, through here and go down this way, you can simply take Ledbetter out right through here. And I put this on here because I simply like this route. Oh, it's a pretty drive. All right, well now let's talk about the downtown Camas core People love this downtown Camas area just because it's walkable. There's a lot of charm here, and you get that direct access to SR14, which people love. So hypothetically, you go grab a coffee here in Camas. It's all walkable, cute little strip right through here. And then you want to head back over to Vancouver or wherever you want to go. You can just simply take this over 6th Avenue and hit 14, or you can also hit this way, 6th Avenue, and you can get connected onto SR14. All right, well, it's no secret why you guys all came here is for the neighborhoods. I just wanted to give you kind of the whereabouts of how you commute. A lot of people don't really think about the commuting stuff, but I personally do. Obviously, I sell a lot of homes here, and that's the first question that comes up when people are actually on the boots on the ground looking at the logistics behind where they're going to move, where they're going to work, who are they going to hang out with, do they have family close by, how do they get there. So those are all pretty important roads, especially SR14, but let's break down some of these neighborhoods. The neighborhood that I'm first going to pull up, and you've probably seen this in a lot of my videos, is what's known as Prune Hill right here. So Prune Hill, from my understanding, it used to be a plum orchard, i.e. the name Prune Hill. The reason I love it is it's the prestige living with strategic highway access. So people say Prune Hill and you automatically, I go, oh, okay, it's probably a pretty nice house and it probably has a view. So Prune Hill, you know, I typed it on the map here. It's kind of a mix between most of these areas. It's kind of basically a general vicinity, and there is a Prune Hill Elementary, and I can show you that here in a little bit. But the reason people like it is because it's an elevated hillside location with panoramic Columbia River and Mount Hood views. So if I zoom out here, this is a hill. So you got a view of this, of the river for most parts of Prune Hill, I would say. And then over here, we have Mount Hood. And Mount Hood's awesome, beautiful views of it. And that's one of the reasons Prune Hill is fantastic. So let's get down to Prune Hill so you guys can see what it looks like. So guys, these are just photos from Google. As you can see, you're elevated up here. This is a Prune Hill. This is a photo from 2017 actually. There's a photo, looks like there's Mount Hood right there. Another shot of Mount Hood. Not the best photos here. All right, I just dropped in a random spot here for you guys to take a look at. This is off of Eagle Street, but this is what some of the neighborhoods look like. I'm not gonna say all the neighborhoods are this beautiful, but I like this because you can kind of see from the background, hey, you're elevated, you're up here. And when they plan these lots out, a lot of these homes from the backyard, they have some beautiful views, and everyone loves those views. I think I actually shot a video here, funny enough. Yeah, and another reason people love Prune Hill is simply because you have direct SR14 access, and it's a quick drive to the PDX airport, 20 to 25 minutes. So we would talk about that SR14 access, as you guys can see right down here, and Prune Hill is just right off of that. You know, comparatively to different spots up through Camas, through Washougal, you know, convenience is really important. Think about just the drive frame right here, rather than going all the way down to here to hit 14 and then making your way. So that's a big thing. Prune Hill, as you can see from the last neighborhood I was through, a lot of large custom homes, I'd say with like upscale finishes, mature landscaping, all the good stuff. And then obviously in Camas, you're in the top tier Camas school district, which is really important. Now, someone asked me, they said, you know, Prune Hill, you talk a lot about the pros. What about the cons? Some of the cons, let's be honest, it's premium pricing, probably 10-20% above the city median, which is already high compared to different areas of Clark County. The property taxes, some people say that there are higher property taxes, and then depending on the neighborhood, there's HOA fees included. Something to think about, but you know, if you can afford Prune Hill, let's be honest, you probably aren't worried about super high property taxes or those HOA fees. And then another thing about Prune Hill is some would argue that the walkability isn't great. And most of your just day-to-day errands, it's gonna require some sort of a drive. Although I do drive through here and I see people walking, I see families riding their bikes.
maybe just not as much as, you know, these are some main roads. People drive fast, and it's a lot different than downtown Camas and walking through there. So some stats on Prune Hill. The median sales price is roughly $785,000, and that's for Camas. Comparatively to the median sales price for Prune Hill is roughly $900,000 as of 2025 July. So roughly 15% above the average for the city. And obviously, I think you get more bang for your buck if it's a nicer area, better resale value, as you guys catch my drift. The schools. So right here, I pulled up Prune Hill Elementary School, and you guys can see this for yourself, but it's cute. And this is backed up to a little sports park. But look at those trees, guys. It's beautiful. It's well kept. Prune Hill Elementary actually got a 9 out of 10 score from greatschools.com. 78% math proficiency, 85% reading proficiency, and a great student-teacher ratio. And most all of Camas schools are kind of like that. Prune Hill, you have Skyridge Middle School, which got a great rating, 8 out of 10. And then Camas High School obviously is 9 out of 10. It's nationally ranked. And the AP participation is at 61%, which means I think that's advanced classes. And I had a couple friends that went to Camas, and surprisingly, they were all smart. So let's talk about what it's like to live here in Prune Hill. I would say it's really quiet. It's scenic. Whenever I drive, whenever I'm hanging out with my wife, maybe we're shooting content over here, it's quiet and upscale. And there's kind of that suburban feel that we love. And I would say you don't feel like crammed in. You go to some different neighborhoods. I've been to almost every neighborhood in Clark County. The residents there tend to enjoy like more privacy. There's larger lots and more of like a prestigious type of setting. And why does it stand out? Prune Hill, it's one of Camas's most established luxury neighborhoods, and it has a proven track record of long-term resale strength due to the location and the school quality. So that's Prune Hill right through here. It's pretty. All right, next up, second on the list, one of my other favorite neighborhoods, and this is more of an actual neighborhood. Prune Hill was kind of a vicinity with a bunch of cluster neighborhoods all together. Is Lacamas Shores. So it's really easy to find Lacamas Shores from the aerial view. All you do is you find Lacamas Lake, and then you find this cute neighborhood that's right up tight next to Lacamas Lake. So all you do is from Lake Road, like I said earlier, and you head through here. And this is all Lacamas Shores. So why do people love Lacamas Shores? Lakeside luxury living with the scenic route appeal. So every time you're driving in and out, you have Lacamas Lake here, which is beautiful. And let's go ahead and find some photos. So this is one of the entry points to get in to Lacamas Shores. And you have Lacamas Lake right over here. I'm gonna try to find a shot of the water if we can. This is Pacific Northwest, guys. Lots of trees, everything grows here. We are making our way. It's hard to tell, but you have water behind here. When you do drive through, you definitely notice it. People love Lacamas Shores for a lot of different reasons. It's waterfront living along the North Shore Drive area with direct lake access, because there are little trails through here. And what I love about it is off of that lake road, you have this huge wall of trees, and it keeps the noise down. So whenever you're through here, this neighborhood, you can hardly hear the cars driving through, because it is a busier road, and it's gotten busier over the years just with all this development going on. So this is Lacamas Shores. This is typically what the homes look like. Beautiful $1 million homes. It's a private community with those amenities. You got the parks, and you have the whole trail system too. And it's roughly 10 to 12 minutes to downtown Camas and to SR 14, which is great. Really beautiful homes in a private little tucked away neighborhood. I'm looking at these photos and I'm going, man, I could ride my bike through here for sure. It's funny. I shoot a lot of content over on Camas, and I end up chatting with some of the neighbors because they go, ooh, who's this guy with a video camera? And every person I talk to that lives here, I want to be friends with them because they all seem so friendly and nice and respectful. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here. Now let's talk about the cons. Let's talk about the cons of Lacamas Shores. There are higher HOA dues just for being up on the waterfront. There's a lot of upkeep that goes with that. And I would say the competition here is pretty high. There's limited home availability, and overall the views and the luxury features, I would say, kind of inflate the price. And with that being said, some would argue that it's not always resale proof. I think that there's always going to be a great resale demand personally, but that's just what I've heard about this neighborhood. Median sales price in Lackawanna Shores is 1.5 million. Average days on market, not super important. 68 days, which is actually pretty good. So the schools, you have Helen Baller Elementary School that got a 9 out of 10 according to Great Schools. Liberty Middle School got an 8 out of 10, and then Camas High School, obviously 9 out of 10. Like I said before, don't have to go over those stats again. So the overall consensus, what it's like to live here in Lackawanna Shores. It's a beautiful neighborhood. You have exclusive lakefront enclave with recreational opportunities that are simply steps from your own. It's perfect for outdoor enthusiasts and for those who value the scenic privacy type of lifestyle. And it really stands out in Camas compared to all these other neighborhoods because there's some history here. You know, this isn't super brand new, but it's established, and it combines luxury real estate with rare waterfront access. And it's a niche that definitely commands attention for sure. And I'm gonna get out of this and try to show you a shot of the actual lake. Let's see if I can go right here. So there we go. So this is the other side. This is off of Ledbetter. And there is a house or two we can see. This is part of Lackawanna Shores. So you're overlooking this beautiful lake, making our way over here. Look at that. Oh, we got a kayaker out. So this is all Lackawanna Shores right through here. Beautiful. All right, up next we have a great little neighborhood suburban hub known as Grass Valley in Camas. And Grass Valley, there's a lot of newer homes here at varied price points, and it's close to Lake Road. So this is basically Grass Valley right through here. It's a cute little hub. You're close to the lake. You're also close to just general shopping, which is all through here. You're not too far away from that. Let's go down and take a look at what Grass Valley really looks like. So the house is here. It's definitely HOA maintained type of landscaping. You have parks, you have family amenities. Here we go. Looks like this is a trail. I believe this is actually access to Grass Valley Elementary School, which I've heard great things about. I had some clients that just put their kids here and they love it. They had some great things to say about the school. But, you know, cute, upscale type of housing. Some of the cons though, it's a little bit newer, so people love to talk about mature landscaping. I feel like I'm always talking about on these videos, and this is a little bit newer, so there's not as much mature landscaping. And I would say less upscale than a place like Prune Hill, Lackawanna Shores, just because you got higher density, and with higher density, you have less privacy. But I mean, this doesn't look bad at all. So median sales price in Grass Valley, you're looking at the 700s, just because, you know, these homes aren't the biggest homes. You're not going to get these custom estates like sometimes you find on Prune Hill, you know, these 5,000-6,000 square foot homes. So it's honestly a little bit less than the Camas average, but you still get what a lot of people like, the privacy of living out in the suburbs. You know, you're not down here in downtown, you're still out a little ways, but very convenient. So I've heard a lot of great things about Grass Valley. You got Grass Valley Elementary School here, which is great, 9 out of 10 according to Great Schools. Skyridge Middle School, 8 out of 10. Camas High School, 9 out of 10. And what it's like to live here. You know, people say that a lot of families like Grass Valley just because you have Grass Valley Elementary School here. I mean, just a lot of modern conveniences. And I think you have a lot of appeal here because you have proximity to the major roads. And it stands out because I think it's a well-connected growth area that really attracts the buyers who want the newer type of home without paying the top tier Camas premium pricing. Definitely check out Grass Valley if that is what you were after. Up next, downtown Camas. And like I said before, we got SR14 right here. SR14 is the main vein into Camas. You got SR14, and you can go to downtown from here, or you can go to downtown from here. Downtown Camas, let's talk about it. Downtown Camas here, you have a lot of historic charm. You got boutiques. This is actually really a restaurant, Feast 316. A lot of cafes, a lot of local events here in Camas. And these pictures are pretty darn true to what it looks like. I love how they keep these trees in here. It just makes for a nice little scenic drive when you're going through the main strip here off of 4th Avenue. And a lot of events here, a lot of history here. This is what it looks like, guys. Another pro, like I said, you got direct SR14 access and a quicker commute to Vancouver and to Portland comparatively to some of the other areas up higher on the hill in Camas. Strong walkability. I think I got a shot. There's people walking here. There's a guy. You can walk through here. You can spend a whole day through here, going to shops, going to coffee shops, going to restaurants, little boutiques. Now let's talk about the cons, because there are a couple cons here. Downtown Camas, you have limited housing inventory, and I'm gonna zoom out of here and I'm just gonna take us to maybe a little neighborhood, see if I can find some homes through here. A big knock on this downtown area. Go find something here. You have smaller homes. They are cheaper, still expensive comparatively to a same type of home in Vancouver or in different areas in Clark County. And a lot of the homes here, I will say, are going to require some renovations or updates. So this is what I'm talking about. So as you can see, cute little home, but older. You know, typically the ranch style house. And over, you know, I would say the COVID period, we had a huge boom of people buying these. They had some extra liquidity to them and they're able to renovate a big strip of Camas. But there are still a lot of homes that just need some updates, require some updates. But, you know, if you are open to the sweat equity, this is what I'm talking about right here. These are not big, beautiful homes. These are definitely starter homes. And the median sales price of these is $650 as of July 2025. And they do go quick though. They do go quick. I think there is a huge resale. So hypothetically, let's say you buy one of these, you put 50 to 100K into it, you update the bathrooms, update the exterior, update the landscaping, you put some money into it, you're probably going to end up in a good position. And here you have Helen Baller Elementary School, 9 out of 10, Liberty Middle School, 8 out of 10, Camas High School, 9 out of 10. People like living here because it's charming, it's walkable. You can go hit the shops, the dining, any of the events are pretty close, usually within blocks of each other. And that's rare to find in Camas, because Camas is, and you can get pretty far out if you want to. And it's really the only true walkable neighborhood type of feel in Camas. And I think that's one of the reasons that this area has some high demand, because people like that. Since we are here, just wanted to say, if you are in a position where you're thinking about making a trip here, you are welcome to reach out to me. I can give you a list, probably too many things to do on your trip here, honestly. But again, I'm Hayden Humphrey, local real estate expert here. And I'm mentioning this because I just sent a huge to-do list for some clients coming out of state, coming to visit, look at the area. And they wanted some things to do, places to eat, places to see, hikes to go on. And I supplied them with all of that within the day. And they just hit me back today and they said, thank you so much. We are so thankful. You know, we got to really explore the Pacific Northwest like we really wanted to from a local. So thank you for that. So if you guys have any questions about visiting here, I have a whole list. I have a whole bunch of information to send you. And I also made a relocation guide here of all the different areas. And the link is down below this video. You're welcome to check it out. All right, up next is Deer Creek right through here, which is basically a part of Prune Hill. People love Deer Creek. It's a modern family suburb with quick East Vancouver access. And let's take a look. Deer Creek looks like. So this is pretty standard for what Deer Creek looks like. It's a lot of well-kept homes from the late 1990s to the 2000s, and it's close to 192nd Ave with all that shopping. But this is what we are looking at. This is pretty standard. And you have Camas schools here too. So those are all the pros. I personally like this because you do have that convenience of getting to where you need to go. You're not too far out from anything, and these neighborhoods are well kept. Here, some of the cons. There's low turnover which means there's fewer buying opportunities. But if you do end up buying one of these homes, you know that there's going to be some resale demand. And the pricing here, you're roughly above the median pricing of Camas. The stat for Deer Creek for the days on market was astonishing. It's 4 days on market on average, which means this is a highly desired area. People want to move here, people want to live here. So here at Deer Creek, you have Prune Hill Elementary, which we already went through, Skyridge Middle School, Camas High School, all are great places to go to school for your kiddos. What it's like living out here, it's quiet. I think of the family-friendly environment when I think of Deer Creek, and you're close to East Vancouver, which is great. And it stands out because it combines modern suburban housing with great commute options, making it a safe pick for long-term stability. All right, next up, we have one of my favorite neighborhoods, Parker Estates. Here at Parker Estates, there's a lot of single-family homes and a quiet, I would say like a low-risk neighborhood setting. The flood risk is minimal, the wildfire risk is minimal. I would say there's typically larger lot sizes for homes in here and well-maintained properties overall. Just like Deer Creek, you're in Camas, and it's a nice neighborhood. People want to live here, so limited inventory is a thing, and homes don't come up for sale often, which makes it a good buy. Median sales price is, as of June 2025, is $685,000 for these homes. Days on market is around 39 days on average. There's a couple homes that sat for a little bit longer, but that's a thing everywhere. And so on 685 versus 785, this Camas is the average, 785,000. So it's about 13% lower than the city average here at Parker Estates. Parker Estates does not have a dedicated elementary school within the boundaries, so students attend the nearby schools in the Camas district, guessing through some sort of boundary agreement that was actually noted on here. So Parker Estates is a quiet upscale neighborhood with a sense of space and low environmental risk for buyers looking for stability with less competition. And it stands out because I think it offers that blend of affordability relative to the expensive neighborhoods in Camas. You get a solid home option, solid neighborhood option, which is great, and it'd be a smart buy for people looking to get into Camas neighborhood that's reputable. All right, next up, one of my favorite neighborhoods known as Grand Ridge. And I got it pinpointed here. As you can see, it's right off of 14 Grand Ridge. It's basically this vicinity right here, this neighborhood. There's a lot of large, well-built homes. For example, I just pulled up a house. It's a 5-bed, 4-bath, 5,400 square foot home, and it's sold for $116, July 11th, 2025, according to Redfin. And let's go take a look at what Grand Ridge looks like. So this is what we're talking about. We're getting some elevation here. This is a nice neighborhood. It's a neighborhood renowned for being peaceful, family-friendly, and close-knit. And there's strong access to top-tier schools in the Camas School District. But this is what we're referring to right here, this type of home. It's modern, it's upscale, beautiful, custom-built homes overlooking Columbia River, which is great. Like I said, you're elevated up here. Now, some of the cons: extremely low inventory. From August to September, there are actually no active listings in Grand Ridge. Look at that. That's beautiful. And the sales prices can significantly exceed the city average of $785, making it, a high entry cost for buyers that want to live here. And obviously the inventory is low, which is going to make pricing higher when a home does come up for sale. So Grand Ridge, roughly 48% above the Camas median home price. And in fact, there's no days on market statistic because Grand Ridge doesn't have enough listings here. So when a home goes for sale here, it's a big deal. Now the schooling, it's typically served by Prune Hill Elementary School, Skyridge Middle School, and Camas High School, basically the same as Prune Hill. What it's like to live here. I talked to a guy who lived in Grand Ridge. He was really proud he lived there. And he mentioned it was very serene and upscale. And he liked it because all the residences were relatively spacious. And he had a family here, and his family loved riding their bikes through here. And you can really grow with these homes here. It's perfect for a family and that long-term stability that we like. And it stands out in Camas because it offers the luxury type of lifestyle with minimal inventory. And I think that scarcity of low inventory is a great value proposition for buyers looking to anchor into something exceptional. this is what we're talking about. This is beautiful. Okay, next up is one of my favorites. It's known as the Parklands at Camas Meadows. This is a brand new community, and I got this pulled up right here on the map. But if we look from a bird's eye view of just where at in Camas is this, obviously we got Lacamas Lake right here. And if we scroll through, it's right off of Lake Road, which is right through here. And it's this little community right in this area. Basically, it's a gated development, and it's offering the square footage lot sizes are anywhere from 10,600 square feet to 13,000. So nearly about a quarter acre lot. And these are premium, and it's ideal for custom homes with low maintenance, but big, beautiful homes. One of the reasons I decided to put this on the list is because the location. The location, it's just top tier. You're minutes from downtown Camas. All you're doing realistically is you're taking this Lake Road right here, which is maybe a couple minute drive to Everett Street, and then boom, you're right here in downtown Camas. You're super close to SR14, not as close to some of these other ones, but you're not a very far drive. I mean, if we look from the grand scheme of things, right through here, just a straight drive down off of Parker Street. You're going to pass some industrial roads here, some neighborhoods that we already talked about, and then you're going to pop down to SR14. Schools, we all know about the Camas schools, the shopping, and then obviously you're close to Lacamas Lake here, which people really like. Now let's go and take a look at what this kind of looks like here. I am going to pull up a listing here. So obviously this is all under construction, but this is kind of the scenery we got going on. And I did pull up a house for sale. One of the cons I was going to say is there's no completed homes. This one just got completed and just got listed. So this is the first completed home, I believe. But the con of this is like there's no immediate comparables or like, I guess, income potential for, is this a good buy? Is this a good investment? Obviously it's in Camas. All the signs are saying yes, but there's nothing done. So I decided to put that as a con. The HOA fees are pretty high. Believe they include like a one-time fee of $1,500 and then some other stuff on top. And they do have some lots available still, but let's just look at this one real quick because this one just got finished. So you can see it's over $2 million, but beautiful. I mean, look at this inside. This is a gorgeous home. Got the double island. The double islands are super popular right now. Shout out to Eric Lopez. He just listed this one. Look at this. You have a putting green in the back. That's awesome. Outdoor kitchen setup. That's crazy. And wow, hot tub. So this is basically what your lot would look like. So essentially, you know, if you're interested in something like this, you need to factor in, you know, you could buy this one, or if you wanted to build something like this with the available lots, you're paying a premium on the lot, but I mean, you're in a premium neighborhood, so that's kind of expected. You got to think about the building time, the permits, and then all the costs that it's going to take to build something like this. And it could extend for a few years, getting all this stuff done, getting all the planning done, and then getting the build done and getting into your home. If we look at kind of the market snapshot, right, of this area, I mean, all these homes at this area are luxury grounds, and so it's really high-end investment potential pre-construction. I mean, it's hard to describe this this is the only home for sale for here now, I believe. I think there's more coming, but I looked and I think I saw only a couple that were getting built right now. But I just want you guys to imagine looking out over the golf course. You have mountain views and you're in your beautiful custom built gated home. The Parklands, I mean, it's going to offer privacy, it's going to offer recreation, and then a lot of building flexibility too. I mean, you can kind of choose what you want, but think about, you are paying a premium, you know, but you are in a premium setting in Camas. And I think this area, I put this on this list because it's not just land, it's kind of a unique blank canvas and an exclusive master planned community. And, you know, you have the proximity to both the urban conveniences and natural beauty. And for big thinkers, and we got a lot of people that reach out to us and go, hey, I want to build something. I'm looking for the best lot, best location. This is what you're looking for, is this community. All right, up next, one of my favorites, which is Dawson's Ridge. So this is a highly exclusive gated community. It's perched on a scenic ridge, and it's the site of the 2019 Parade of Homes. And if you haven't heard of the Parade of Homes, every year, some of the finest builders in Clark County end up they buy a piece of land and they split it up and they parcel it up. And then certain builders choose to do a build. And it's a great way for them to showcase their work. And also, it's a really cool event too, because they run it for a couple of weeks at the end of the summer usually. And it's great because usually there's I've seen up to 10 houses of some beautiful homes, $1 million homes, and it's definitely worth checking out. And this was the 2019 Parade of Homes. So Dawson's Ridge, I got a map pulled up here. Camas is right here. So downtown Camas, right here. You got Highway 14 right through here. And Dawson's Ridge is actually this little tiny guy right there. So a lot of these homes have sweeping views of the Columbia River and the Portland skyline. This is elevated quite a bit right off the highway, so you're not going to get as much highway noise. And it's obviously located super close to SR 14 and within the Camas School District. And here is a home that I found. This one actually sold in 2023. Sold for nearly $2 million in 2023. And beautiful home. But this is what I'm talking about. So if we go back to the map, I wish I had a way of showing you guys where this is at. Well, this is from 2012, but it's right off of McIntosh Road here. This is the entrance right here to Dawson Ridge. The cons of Dawson's Ridge are the following. The inventory is extremely limited. There's no properties for sale right now. I just looked up, wanted to see if there's anything for sale that I could show you guys. Nothing right now, so it's exclusive, right? And it's so exclusive that it's hard to even see what's in here other than looking at past listings. The price point too, it's substantially higher than the average Camas sales because of the limiting buyer pool that can, obviously afford this. These are $1 million homes. For example, July 31st, 2025, I think that was the last time a home was sold, which was a couple months ago, and not sold for $1.5 million. And I would say the Dawson's Ridge homes are approximately 76 to 90% above the zip code 98607 or the Camas average. And it's serviced by the top tier Camas schools in Prune Hill Elementary, Skyridge Middle School, and Camas High School. And what it's like living here, it's an exclusive place to live. There's a lot of seclusion and there's prestige. Every home is custom built on an elevated terrain, which creates an ultra privacy type of community. And it's built to high standards with great views and thoughtful planning. It's not just another gated neighborhood. I would say it's a showcase community. Obviously, it was part of the Parade of Homes. And I think the scarcity and the capital quality positioning definitely make it a standout for luxury-oriented buyers over in Camas. People are talking about luxury in Camas. Dawson's Ridge gets brought up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, up next, one of my favorites, Columbia Summit Estates. They are executive homes and elevated serenity. Some of the pros, it's composed of high-end executive homes featuring spacious, usually luxurious builds. And typically the construction of these is anywhere from 1992 to 2017-ish. I'll show you on a map here. So let's get my tool out. We have downtown Camas right here, and then the Columbia Estates, so this little smidge right here. So this is a part of Columbia Estates. This is a home in the neighborhood, and this is what I'm talking about. Columbia Summit Estates, it's a tightly held community. There's low turnover, which kind of enhances the exclusivity and the overall long-term value. And as of August 2025, there's only 5 listings available. So that's a con of this place, but it's also, if you do end up buying in here, the supply is usually tight, which makes your value higher just because there's not a lot of options in this neighborhood. So obviously you can see in the background here, we're elevated quite a bit. Like I said, a lot of Camas is on a hill, and so there are spectacular views outside of here. The average, our median sales price from August 2025 is $1,159. We can call it $116 for homes in here, compared to the $785,000 in Camas. So it's definitely more. And according to the Stata Rental, and Columbia Summit Estates listings stand about 33 to 48% higher than the citywide benchmarks, depending on the metric that was used. The schooling, it's likely zoned to the Camas schools, obviously, either Prune Hill Elementary, Skyridge Middle, or Camas High. And people like it because it's an executive level type of neighborhood. It's large. It's not as fancy as a place like Dawson's Ridge, but there are quality built homes in an elevated setting. And I'm just going to show you real quick. This is a listing. This is actually for sale right now. So this is over at Columbia Summit Estates. I mean, look at that view right there. Obviously, this is from the roof. And this is for $970,000. You know, they offer well-crafted luxury homes at a price point noticeably above many Camas neighborhoods. Another reason why it stands out is because there's just limited availability and a lot of just architectural appeal. It's just a notch above the standard neighborhood. All right, last one, and I thought really hard about this one, and I'm choosing Camas Hills. It's a brand new master planned luxury community. It's all built by Toll Brothers, and there's two basically neighborhoods. One's a little bit more higher end. The other one is not. There's the Powell collection, Powell, Powell collection, and those are starting around $834,000. Obviously, that's before upgrades, base price. And then there's the Huron collection, and these are starting in the basically $1,060,000 plus. And obviously, these are much bigger homes. So let's take a look at this geographically. So we're looking at Camas here, downtown Camas, right here. All you're doing is you're taking Northeast Everett, and Camas Hills is this guy, this little neighborhood right up here. It's not little, just far away. It's north of Camas Park and Camas Lake. And this aerial view, it's so new that it's just dirt. This isn't actually what it looks like right now, but this aerial view this is what we're seeing here. I can tell you that I've been up here a bunch, and there's a lot of development going on right through here. A lot of development. And if I pull up the website here, what it's looking like, these are the homes that are in this neighborhood. They're mostly dual level or triple level, tri-level, and this is what we're talking about. I've actually made a few different videos on the model home here, but if we're looking from a overall perspective here, this is a beautiful neighborhood because you have Camas Lake and you have this scenic setting all across the north shore of Camas Lake. And so when I talk about that, you got the lake right through here. Picture coming home every day and getting this view. And there's trail access with different greenbelt sites here at Camas Hills. And I really liked it because Toll Brothers did a great job of just the modern architectural styles. They have contemporary housing, farmhouse style, and then craftsman, and a lot of luxury outdoor living space with each of these builds. So this is Camas Hills right here. And like I said, it's already pretty much all built up, and these homes are selling like hotcakes. Luxury, single family homes. You know, they're still in development. People are moving in. I mean, it is a new construction community for sure. I think a con with any new construction, because it's still in development, there's limited resale data to gauge like overall appreciation. And I do know that the lot premiums and upgrades can definitely push the prices well above the base price. So they do say 800s. I mean, if you want above the base level of everything, it's going to be a lot more than that. And the inventory pricing definitely fluctuate quickly depending on the builder releases. But overall, you know, if we're looking at $785 for the city of Camas, that's a median sales price. It's definitely above that. But you're serviced by Camas Lake Elementary, which got a decent score from greatschools.org, 7 out of 10. Liberty Middle School, which got a 6 out of 10. And then the Camas High School. And I do want to show here. So if we're looking right through here, there's a lot going on. There we go. So this is Camas Hills. Camas High School is right here. You're nearly a minute away, maybe not even a minute, to Camas High School, which is obviously, we all know Camas High School is great. That's why a lot of people end up moving here over to Camas, especially with kids. And what else can I talk about with Camas Hills? When I toured these, it's definitely upscale. It's definitely new construction. I mean, there's a lot of building going on. They do offer privacy. They offer lake access. And you definitely get that luxury type of design feel. And I toured a couple of these, and the designers did a great job. And it's perfect for a buyer who wants a modern, move-in ready type of home in a booming part of Camas. I mean, this is all booming. I do notice though a con. So if we're gonna go back to this section here, I don't think this neighborhood, if you are a senior, if you're looking for a single level, this probably isn't the neighborhood for you, because these are all mostly tri-level, I believe, because the lots, they're not the biggest lots. They're pretty squished in. So it's perfect for someone who can still open to walking upstairs and doesn't want a ton of maintenance, but, a luxury type of feel. And I definitely think Clackamas Hills represents the future of just luxury living in Camas. You have top schools, you have the scenic location, and then you have the customizable Toll Brother homes that appeal to both lifestyle and long-term value. In Camas, every neighborhood looks desirable on the surface, but the wrong choice can quietly cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity. It can potentially saddle you with higher taxes and HOA fees, or leave you in a home that's tough to resell when life changes and you're forced to do that. And that's exactly why I walk these neighborhoods, I track the market numbers, and I talk to families living here every single week. So if you're thinking about moving to Camas, happy to connect with you. I'll help you match with the right neighborhood that fits your lifestyle, your needs, and overall your long-term investment. Thanks for watching, guys.